Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking about a really interesting solo gold farm that you can do with almost any of your level 70 characters, and this is something that can reward you with a lot of gold. So just before I start diving into this gold farm, a quick disclaimer. In today's video, I will be mostly talking about transmog items, and so if you're not a big fan of this type of markets and you don't believe you can make some gold with this type of items, please maybe try to find another video or another farm, because this one might not be the best for you. So today's gold farm will be taking place in the last raid of Shadowlands Sepulcer of the first ones. The reason why we want to come in this raid is simply to try and get some of the different BoEs that can drop from some of the different trash mobs inside of the raid. So here I really want to emphasize the fact that not all these different BoEs are as equally interesting. And also, for instance, if you're doing it on a play character, you will only be able to get the different plate items, including also the cloak. Same if you're doing it on the leather characters, you will only be able to get the leather items, and same with cloak and same with mail. So here, as you can see, we have plenty of these different BoEs, but there are only a few that are really interesting. So the ones that are the most interesting by far are going to be the leather ones. So first we have this one right here. This is the hood from the rogue set. And as you can see, it looks really nice. And then we also have the legs from the rogue set. And then next to that, I would say the plate items are also probably the most interesting ones. You have the shoulders and also the gloves from the warrior set. Next to that, unfortunately, the ones for cloth are not really super interesting. As you can see, the Sellrate is really bad. And then it's very similar for the ones for male with the shaman set, even though I think the helm looks actually pretty decent. So if you are trying to do this farm, I would highly recommend you to first do it on a leather character to try and get some of these different rogue items, and then maybe on a play character. But definitely try to avoid doing it maybe on a cloth character or on a male character, even though I think the male one is still better than the cloth one. Now, the reason why these different items are interesting is the fact that, as you can see, the only overshared appearance for this specific item is from the raid set for the specific class they're linked to. So for instance here, if you want this specific transmog and you're not playing on a rogue, you will need to learn it through the BoE. And so this is the same for all these different items, and this is the main reason why these items are still relevant and why they're still selling for, as you can see, quite a lot of gold and with a pretty good sell rate. Lastly, another very important thing to keep in mind is the fact that these different items will have different colors depending on the difficulty you're doing it on. So for instance, here, as you can see, this is normal, and also these are the different shoulders for plate. Then these are the LFR version for both of these different items. Then here, when we go on Eric, as you can see, these are the different colors. And finally, with Mythic, we have these different colors right here. So it means that you can do it in the 4 different difficulties, and you will each time get different appearances. So it makes the number of items you can actually get from this farm pretty high. So now when it comes to the sell rate and the value for these different items, so I'm not going to talk about all of them, but only the most interesting ones. So first you have, of course, this head for the rogue set, so 0.023, which is extremely good in my opinion. And then you have the legs, only 0.008. It's not as interesting, but still a decent item, I would say. And then you have these shoulders right here, 0.024, again, really, really nice. And then the gloves, 0.011. And then all the rest is below 0.01, which is not so good. And you have maybe the cloak that is also not too bad. But again, it's nothing compared to these two right here. Now for the value, I'm just going to use the leather headpiece in order to show you a little bit the rarity of these different items and also for how much you can sell them right now. So as you can see on European Realms, for the normal version, the 252 high level, there are only 6 available, and on average they're selling for 450,000 gold. Then for the LFR one, there is only 1 available for 1 million gold. Then for the Eric one, there are 10 available for 500,000 gold on average. And then for the Mythic one, it's the same, 10 available, and 500,000 gold on average. Then on North American realms, for the LFR one, there are 2 available for 585,000 gold on average. Then you have for the normal one, 9 available, and on average it's 1.6 millions. Then for the Eric one, you have only 3 available, and right now, as you can see, they're selling for, I believe, something around also like 400,000 gold on average. And finally, for the Mythic one, there are 8 available for 847,000 gold on average. So as you can see, you can really sell them pretty easily simply because there's not a lot of competition, and also because they sell pretty fast simply because people want these different appearances, and this is the only way to get them if you're not playing the right class. But of course, keep in mind, for instance, here, you probably won't sell any of these items for 1.6 million. I think 3 to 400,000 gold is more reasonable. So just keep that in mind as well. And if you're wondering how you can do it in LFR difficulty, all you want to do is go in Oribos and you want to go and talk to this guy right here. And then you can select which part of the raid you want to do. So again, the best one is by far the ephemeral plains because this is where you have the most mobs. But it depends, so you can try to do that. And keep in mind, again, the different LFR items are the rarest and also they are still really interesting. So I would say the main requirement for this gold farm is to do it, of course, on a level 70 character, but especially a character that has a really good eye level, or also that maybe can heal himself a lot, or that can play a tank, especially to solo the first boss, because as you will see, you will need to kill the first boss in order to do this farm. So really try to do it on one of your characters that, again, has a good eye level. And also, right now, personally, as you can see, I don't really have a super good eye level, only 427, so I'm only doing it in normal difficulty. But you can do it also next to that in Heroic, Mythic. You can do it all 3 of them during the same week, so you really maximize your chance at getting some of these different items. But again, especially I think for the Mythic version, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. If you are struggling with killing the first boss, what I would recommend you to do is maybe try to find a friend who can help you do it in these different difficulties. And like that, you will be able to then do the farm and try to get some of these different items. But of course, you can also solo it. And that's personally what I did again in normal difficulty. So now let's talk about the farm in itself. So the first thing you will have to do is to enter the raid. And here you will have to kill the first boss. All the different ads that are before the first boss don't drop any BoEs, so don't waste your time killing a lot of them or waiting for them to respawn. It's not gonna work. So in order to kill the first boss, it's honestly not too difficult, especially again in normal difficulty. What you want to do is kill all the different waves of mobs. Then at some point, some of these big guys will drop a shield on the ground. And when they're done, they will die and drop an orb. You just want to take the orb, go in the center near the stairs, and here you just want to click on this little icon and you will like that damage the main boss. So you have to do that 3 times, and then you will start also encountering the main boss, and then you just need to kill it. So here I personally did it on a tank character because again it was quite a lot and I don't have a really good eye level on my druid, so I wasn't able to kill him fast enough with my balance spec. So it's really up to you to see how you want to do. Again, if you're really struggling, maybe just ask a friend to help you kill the first boss, because after that you won't normally need anyone else. So when you are done with the first boss, what you want to do is go and enter the first room here. Here you will be able to kill all the different trash that will lead you to this main platform where then you can use the different portals. So all these different trash can already loot some of these different BoEs, so make sure to kill all of them. You will also see at some point you will have different mini boss, and these are not interesting to kill after you kill them once, simply because they won't really drop anything anymore. So it's up to you to see if you want to maybe use a little bit more time and kill them, but personally I always try to avoid them. So here the first portal you want to use is to go to the ephemeral plains. And when you arrive here, this is really where you will be able to kill the most trash mobs. So here again, if you have a really good eye level, you can try to take many of them at the same time and kill all of them. But keep in mind, they still eat quite hard, and also they use a lot of stun and things like that. So if you're trying to do very big pulls, you might die pretty easily, especially if you're not playing on a tank class. But again, it depends on your eye level and also the class you're using. So what I would recommend you to do is to first start killing all the mobs that are just here in that area. And here you want to use, if you're not playing on a shaman or a mage, you want to use one of these little drums in order to get the plus 15% of haste. So this is really something that will make it easier for you to do this farm. So when you're done with these first packs of mobs here, you want to go inside of the room where there is collects, and here you want to kill all the different mobs that are here. So again, these are not too difficult, just make sure to not stay in the middle of the room because this is where the boss is going to spawn. So when the boss is spawning, just make sure to pull him and then go outside of the room, and like that it will reset all your main cooldowns and also the ones for Bloodlust. And so then what you can do is start pulling all the mobs that are in that part. If again you have a very good eye level, you can just really get all the mobs inside this main room, and make sure to use Bloodlust and all your different cooldowns, because then when you're done with this room here, you want to come back and again pulls, collects, leave, and like that it will reset again all the different cooldowns. Then you want to make your way back around here, and you will have to kill all the different mobs that are before this overboss right here. And so really here it will maybe take a little bit more time because some of them are stunning you and they can be a little bit more tricky to kill. But again, make sure to kill all of them, and then you can reset your Bloodlust and all the different cooldowns by pulling this boss and then exiting the room again. And so normally you will be able to kill all the mobs that are inside this area right here. Then after you're done, you want to make your way back to the portal, and this time you want to go to the Genesis Cradle. So here, when you arrive, again, you will first have to kill all the different mobs that are around this platform. Then what you want to do is go here, and here you really want to grab all the different mobs that are around here and also around here. You will see that sometimes some mobs are just spawning again and again and again. There is no need to kill them because they won't drop anything. So make sure to only really kill the different mobs that were there at the beginning, and all the ones that keep spawning and everything, don't bother killing them because again, they won't drop anything. So here to kill this first big pack, make sure to use also your cooldowns and Bloodlust. And then once you're done, you want to make your way here and you want to go reset Bloodlust and all your cooldowns by simply aggroing Dosage and then resetting at the entrance here. Then you can aggro all the different mobs that are here and also here, and you have like a few that are at these entrances here. And then you want to kill all of them again using Bloodlust, all your different cooldowns. And normally you should be able to kill them pretty easily. And then finally after that you can just go, there are a few more mobs here, and if you are planning to only do it in one difficulty, you can simply log off and do something else, and maybe like 45 minutes later you can come back and you will be able to do that again. Or if you're trying to do it on multiple difficulties, then you can use the portal back to the main entrance, and then you want to leave, and like that you can then enter, just change the difficulty, enter, and do that again and again. Also, next to these different BoEs, you will be able to get some of the different green BoEs, especially the different weapons, and all of them do sell still for quite a lot of gold, simply because they almost have unique appearances. So this is why they're still items that you can also post on the auction house. As you can see, this one, 15,000 gold. And sometimes you will also be able to get some extra sales with these green items. So in total, after doing quite a few runs, I was able to get one of the leg piece. Then I was also able to get 3 different cloaks, and at some point 2 of them dropped from the same pack of mobs, which was also pretty insane. And finally, I was able to get 1 headpiece. And it took me quite a little bit of time. I would say at least a good 1 hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in total of farming in order to get these different BoEs. So here I really want to stress the fact that compared to some of the different legacy raids from other expansions that are now pretty easy in terms of the different BoEs because of the nerf that happened, I believe, in patch 10.1.5 or something like that. Here it's completely different simply because, again, all the different raids from Shadowlands are not part yet of the legacy system, and all the different BoEs are still very difficult to get. So it will take a little bit more time, but this is also the reason why these items are so rare and so valuable. Finally, my main recommendation for you is to maybe try to transfer these different items on high-pop realms, or at least realms where you know they will have more potential for you to get a sell, simply because unfortunately if you're playing on a low-pop realm, most likely it's going to take a lot of time for you to actually get any sales. And as you can see, you have plenty of these really high-pop realms where there are none available. And so if you transfer them there, it will make it way more easier for you to actually get a sell. So this is something I always recommend. You can now transfer items for free. You can ask a friend if you want, or do it if you have a second account yourself. But really try to target this type of realms because, again, if you are trying to sell an item for more than 300,000 gold or something like that, most likely it's going to take forever on a low pop realm and a little bit less time on a high pop realm. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you will be able to make some gold with this gold farm. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime I wish you all a great Sunday. Bye!